I'm excited about this track because one thing that I'm gonna try to do that I normally don't try to do is like I'm trying to make a great track, or at least I just switched my goal. I'm gonna try to make this awesome track without adding effects. I'm gonna try to just with levels, you know what I mean, volume, that's it, and make a great track. Not with all that delay, all of that phaser and reverb and all that kind of stuff, but you can keep it dry and keep it regular, you know what I'm saying? So this little conga pattern just popped in my head, and so I'm gonna record that. I got another conga in the other room, and so what I think I'm gonna do is like record both of those patterns. So it'd be yeah. And then I'll go back in the other room and I'll get the other one. But I do want to, like, because I've done so much to like clean this room and keep this room effectively clean, I think one thing that I'm going to do is you know, try to clean up as I go, you know, kind of like in a in the kitchen. You know, when I'm in the kitchen, I like, you probably can't hear me because I just jumped to the closet, but you know, there's not so many pieces. Like I don't want to put away like my whole drum set right now, but I just finished recording like pretty much the drum set, and I'm really happy about that. If I'm gonna record tomorrow, then I can pull these like few pieces kind of back out. But for now, I know that I'm done with the snare drum. I would move the kick drum, but it'll take probably like a whole lot of time out of my progress. So I'm not gonna move that right now. But what I could do, since I just moved that that snare, now look who's got perfect amount of space for this conga to be right there and get that pattern recorded I was just telling y'all about. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep this junk clean. So I need to grab me another track for that one. So I got the Kabasa. This next track is gonna be basically conga number 1. Some people say congas. I see a lot of people that play conga on a regular basis, call it conga, that I respect, so that's what I'm gonna call it, conga. You gotta always remember to cut them, those speakers off, or you'll record your room as well as your sound. You get ready to mix the sound, you end up having the beat along with the sound. And that's something I strive to try to like always remember, or not forget, whatever way you want to put that. But I'm getting ready to right now. I'm gonna record this conga 1 part, and then I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna see if while I'm putting this conga back into the other room, you know, kind of cleaning as I go, whether I like the way it sounds with that one conga, or if I'm gonna put another conga in there that's got a different tone in it, which is what I think I probably will do, because I really want to just like, there's certain elements and rules that I've broken for so long in the music that I made early on. It sounds very good and it sounds very interesting, but I think if I would have maybe tried some of the standard things and common understandings, then I possibly would have had like a much easier route, you know, for myself. But I think I've become a more dynamic musician and producer because of the things that I've done, and done it, you know, quote unquote my way. But I will say that when I was in school for art, for painting, drawing, sculpture, ceramics, etc., that for my BFA, that like one thing that we called abstract was the thing is like abstract art is when you're abstracting things that you know their classical appearance, you know their regular occurrence. But a lot of people say that they're doing abstract things, but they don't know how to do them the classical way. That's actually the definition of ignorance. When you don't know what you're doing and you're just doing a thing, you're kind of operating in ignorance. I'm not saying that in ignorance you can't create something amazing, beautiful, and creative. But what I'm saying is people that are creating abstract art, like if you were painting a real like photorealism painting where it looks like the person, it looks just like them, that would be like photorealism, and that would be a classical approach. But if you were to like know that classical approach and know how to create photorealism and just like not and break all the rules, now you're creating abstract art because you know how to create the other. But you can't, I mean, you can break rules and not know the actual rules and know what actually exists. But abstracting something is changing something from its normal occurrence. It's not creating, you can't change something if you don't know what you're changing it from. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get this conga part going. That's what I'm gonna do with the other one. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. So that's what we're gonna do with the other one. Yeah, so we will attempt to create that other pattern that I was speaking about with this conga. sit it right back up under the same mic to be essentially mixed the same way. My friend Rafael Villanueva hooked me up with that conga. I think Rafael is Puerto Rican, maybe? So boop, boop, boop. I don't know what tone it is right now, so. Yeah. I gotta get that high. Yeah. That's cool, I like that. So I think what's really cool about the track so far is that we're like focusing on, you know what I'm saying, the percussion, you know, and I think as we start to layer things and put things on top of that, it's gonna be cool because we've already like locked this part in and we're focusing on this part, and it's honestly, it's becoming really beautiful to me. I don't want to make a really long, beautiful, nice track and it doesn't work well, you know? I'm right now like just labeling conga number 2, and we're gonna record this one. So it's my tuning screw for the congas. So there we go. It sounds good to me, but what I normally do is pull the volumes back down because it just is kind of exaggerated. I think it sounds real good. Turn on my other speaker. Oh, it is up. The end of this loop around the 8 sounds a little interesting. A little concerned about that, honestly. So now I'm getting ready to hook up this this ribbon mic that I have. One of the things though with the ribbon mic that I have is that you have to some kind of touchy, sensitive instructions that you kind of got to follow in order to hook it up properly. So you got to turn like the phantom power off, and then you gotta let the microphone like warm up and everything. But it's got a really warm tone. So I'm gonna go and hook this microphone up now. Just kind of being mindful because it sounds really good and I don't want to mess it up. So I got that hooked up now, and I got the channel on mute. This is the microphone right here. It's a tube active microphone. I can't remember who made this. Say about like Creative Project or something. I can't really tell. It doesn't appear as though they wrote it on here, but it's phantom power supply. So if you like, I assume if I turn on like the phantom power on my mixer, that's what can damage the ribbon in this mic. But I'm turning this one on right now because I'm getting ready to record in a second the bass line. I'm gonna use my tuba, and yeah. So they tell you to let this microphone warm up for, I think it's like 10 minutes or something like that. So I'll do that in just a moment. But I'm gonna go ahead and like prep these channels so that I can lay the bass line down. It's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon here in Atlanta, and I'm just trying to take full advantage over like, my off time and everything. If I can get like maybe 2 tracks done this weekend, that'll be amazing. But I got a lot of work ahead of me because I want to, like I said, I want to finish this track, which I'm kind of keeping it simple, but I'm filling it with the elements that I love, which are, drums, horns, my Rhodes over here, and my synthesizers. Really close to my heart. Love playing those, love hearing them on tracks and everything like that. So I'm gonna keep it real simple, record things in groups, and try to make the most of my time. And also I want to upload all my tracks to digital streaming platforms, all the DSPs and everything like that, so that my catalog will be back up, which shouldn't be too tough. I think I'll probably get up like super duper early tomorrow morning and start uploading that so that I can just try to get everything up. I'm gonna try to just match everything up with my website and with Bandcamp, and just once I have all of those platforms just kind of even and equal, then whenever like I do drops, I can drop everything like across the whole spectrum, and then you all will be able to listen to the whole discography all the time, anywhere you want to go and listen to it. Whereas before, like, I kind of just got in a real bitter place. I didn't like how much streaming platforms offer you and compensate you for your music, and I just started doing everything straight off my website. I didn't update Bandcamp anymore because Bandcamp takes a little bit. But in sequential order, the people that compensate you the most for your music are, you always have your processing fees to like actually get your money. But it goes in the order, in my opinion, of your website, then Bandcamp, and then last and totally least is digital streaming platforms. But I had to stop being bitter about it because I realized that I started forgetting that there's a difference between marketing and promoting, and there's a difference between sales. And so, you're probably going to sell on your website and sell on Bandcamp, but for the most part, digital streaming platforms, it's a marketing promotional tool. Even though they're kind of robbing you blind, they're giving you the ability to be exposed worldwide. And then I think as people get a chance to build rapport with you and get a chance to understand who you are and what you're about, and whether they're down for the ride to support you and be a part of what you're doing, then they can kind of come down the funnel and support you through your website through means that actually support you holistically and things of that nature. But as people get to know you more, they tend to want to get behind what you're doing and support you. But when we're discovering you, it's just like you're walking past somebody up and down the street. Chances are, unless they're super kind hearted, they tend not to give to the needy. You know what I mean? Like, people don't really give until they like actually can see that you need it, and people see that you need things by way of getting to know you more. So I'm gonna get ready and warm this track up and get things ready for the next sequence, which is gonna have the horn, the bass, the tuba on it. I think the way things are gonna go is I'm gonna have like the first sequence is gonna be like all the percussion. The second sequence is gonna be the tuba, my bass line, you know, with the sequence, and then after that I'll probably do the third sequence. I'll probably like put in like my chord sequence with the Rhodes electric piano, and then on top of that, after Rhodes electric piano, I'll probably put in some horn lines, and then after horn lines, which are going to be more playing like maybe like an accompaniment part, I don't know, they could play full on melody. Then after that, I'll go and sprinkle on top like synthesizer and stuff like that. I'll probably have like a bridge where there's like a arpeggiator part. I can kind of hear that in my mind. And yeah, that's how we'll kind of go from there. So yeah. I'm trying to line up the track right now and just get everything kind of locked and loaded, so to speak. But my headphones are kind of giving me a problem right now because I want to record and they're like not being nice to me, so they're flopping all over the place. But yeah, so let's test this tuba track real quick. Although I think the microphone needs to be rotated. Check, check, check. Yo, yo, yo. Okay. So I don't know how close I should record this. And that's the microphone right there, actually. So that's what I'm gonna record right there. So here we go. Just doing a listening test. I'm peaking in some parts on here that I'm not happy with that. So that last bass line that I played, I did not like the way it sound with the track. So I'm gonna re-record another one. That's kind of like more of what I'm hearing. I want like a more mellow bass line. I don't want like something, like it can be busy, but I don't want it to sound busy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna do something like that instead. Unmute these microphones. Point around here, so I'm actually pointing at the microphone. Alright, let's try that again. I know y'all over there like, what is going on? Gotta get good tone, that's what's going on. It sounds good, but I think I want to double it actually. I don't do it all the time, but I want to do it this time. I want to fill it up just a little bit more. Cool, cool. Ah! See what happens sometimes? I like this bass line better though. Man, I keep kind of like gotta do that again. Focus. I think that's it. It's a pretty simple bass line, but in my opinion, like it really rides, you know? I think the next step is like always kind of like tuning it down, you know? A lot of people might call it gain staging, I think. Mute that microphone back there. I'm not gonna like EQ it or anything like that, but I think like even though I'm like keeping like a whole lot of effects like out of the process, I think there is gonna be a time where it's like I might EQ stuff, but like I'm really trying to just really leave this thing really raw, not for the sake of being like messy, but like for the sake of just like not complicating things, you know what I'm saying? We have so many options in the world, and you can be successful by just executing with very minimal options, and that's what I'm working on doing right now. I like really guess this is what it's come to, because I used to be like very like gung-ho, like yo, I'm about to like record nothing but I mean I kind of like slick got addicted to Rhodes, you know what I mean? And then now all I want to do is record like long tones with my horns for now, you know, because I really love horns, but sometimes it ends up being like a thing where by the time I get to them, they don't even feel like predominant. And so like I'm definitely like a more of a horn guy than a keys guy, and I think that's what like I'm feeling unctioned to do right now in this moment, and that's exactly what I'm about to do. So I got a chord progression. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Let me turn this down real quick. So I got a chord progression real quick that I just wrote out the notation on my phone real quick, and I'm gonna record that. That'll kind of give me like some notes, some key to kind of follow. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dissonance in it, but I like it. You know, I think it's very artful, and we'll figure it out. Let me turn this up so I can hear when I'm recording. I used to use like a drumstick. Oh man, I knocked my keyboard over on accident. I didn't even hear that. But I used to use a drumstick a long time ago, but you know, to kind of record real quick, but we'll figure it out. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. I didn't realize I was 8 bars already. I think it's a pretty little progression. It's cool. Like I said before, it's got a lot of dissonance, but I'm gonna go ahead and like gain stage it a little bit, kind of bring the levels down to where I want it to be. That's kind of what we got so far. So I'm about to figure out like some horn type thing we can do. Figure out on my own. I can't even lie, this is my favorite part. I feel like songs don't come alive until you add horns to them. So that's what I'm about to do. Be da 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 da. Be da da. And get a volume check on this thing. I'm probably gonna stack this track twice. I don't know. I do add a lot of horns, but we're about to see. I don't even hear that. I think I turned the trim down on track 4. I sure did. Check, 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 check. Okay, I'm gonna try it from here. I need to put my beanie on so I can like hear the track. My earphone on my left side is like sagging off. It's weird. Need some new headphones. I think I'm gonna record that one over. Just because it wasn't as full as I wanted it to be. But let's go. So I just recorded like a dub track. I overdubbed this part twice. So I got 2 baritone parts. My baritone and my euphonium are like very, very similar. So, but they still have like a very different characteristic in their sound. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of stacking the tracks one on top of the other. They're playing the same parts. But I'm just kind of thickening it up so it sounds like a choir of sound, and that's kind of like my goal a lot of times when it comes to horns. As far as my style is concerned, that's what I like. So I'm gonna work on this one. Okay, so I'm gonna go dub this one now. Now I'm about to throw a little bit of cornet flavor on top. I normally wouldn't do this right now because normally I go from like the bottom to the top in terms of like low instrument frequency voicings. I'll do like from the bottom and go to the top, like, you know, trombone, baritone, tuba, baritone, trombone, mellophone, cornet, trumpet, flute on top. But like, I just kind of want to do the cornet next after the baritone. I want to get as many instruments recorded. My time's kind of waning on me right now. Going to my wife's show a little later, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the cornet down and record that one. Then after I do cornet, I probably will go to trumpet, and then after I go to trumpet, I'm gonna see if I can get mellophone and trombone down. Those are normally harder for me because mellophone normally has like completely different fingering, and then trombone's got the slides. So Both of those two are probably like my most difficult brass instruments to play. So they take a little bit of extra time for me to form parts or just learn the parts that I played on the other ones. So let's record the cornet part. I missed that low note. Be-da-da. And I missed my count. Alright, I gotta work on a quality sound. Grooving so much I missed the doggone note. Worried about moving my body. Play the note, baby. So it wasn't perfect, but I liked it still. I like the way it sounds. I'm a overdub it and play it again. Just to kind of give that sense of like, you know, more than one, thicker, even though it's just me in the studio. So yeah, I'm probably talking a little loud. I got the headphones on, but let me get another overdub it is. I need to get that note in tune quicker because I didn't. I'm satisfied. I'm gonna go in and do trumpet next. thank you. I'm gonna get some of the Tropicalia. Yo, so just drove out to Athens, Georgia. Got a really cool deal on a tenor saxophone. Always like for my tracks to sound like real smooth and everything like that. And so I had removed the woodwind element out of my track. So that was something that I kind of wanted to work on, you know, adding back into the mix when I got an opportunity. That's the case in the back seat. I kind of would have recorded a little bit more of it, but you know, I was in somebody else's space, and you know, he seemed to be kind of like old school, traditional and everything like that. So I really didn't want to like, you know, be recording in his face and stuff. Don't know what kind of moment that would have created for, but yeah. So that's that. Now I'm gonna get ready to go into music go around and music store, neighborhood music store near me. Grab a reed for it because I need one. Believe it or not, the dude, when I got ready to arrange the meeting with the guy, I asked him if he could, you know, give me a reed, and he like actually gave me a reed, but it was like a used one. I'm like, ugh, that's nasty, that's disgusting. So, you know, got to stop in the music store and grab my own reed real quick. So that's where we at with it right now. Yep, so we are fresh out of the music store. I got my tenor sax reed so we can finally hear some of those smooth saxophone notes and everything like that. Which is interesting because when I first got a tenor sax, I like really was craving something in a range that was a little bit lower. And I was thinking maybe that I should be fooling around on bari sax or even maybe like bass clarinet. But you know, it's all good. I didn't realize. I mean, I don't think it's an expensive cost, but I didn't think a tenor sax reed was gonna set me back like almost $8, you know, but you know, it is what it is. Got what I need. Pretty much got up first thing this morning, had tea with my wife and out in the sun, and we enjoyed that a bit. And now I'm getting ready to head back into the house, try to get some work done, you know what I mean, some music and everything. So yeah. So right now I'm doing a kind of just like a soft mix, you know, just checking levels and stuff like that, which is really cool. Like I said, on this track I didn't do any EQing. All I did was gain stage stuff with volume, except for on like the master track I compressed like all of the tracks. That makes it sound like I did something to a bunch of everything, but like literally all I did was I took the master track and I put a compressor on it. I also took the master track and put like that much reverb on it. And then I took the master track and put reverb, compression, and then there's another there's a modulation plugin on the MPC called width. And so I just like spread it the stereo width of the track. But I mean, even though those things kind of had like a description that I said, they really don't. It's really not like a whole lot at all. You know, I just kind of massaged those settings just to kind of boost the track so that, you know, just like when you're on like volume level 10 on like your phone or something, like you're not like begging for more volume out of the whole track instead of like going and individually boosting every single individual track and changing the levels that I had it at. But that's about it right now. Like I said earlier, I got my I went and picked up my saxophone, which in my opinion, I think I got a really good deal on it. I got a Bundy. I got some kind of Bundy sax. I don't really know like what model or anything like that. But this part that I got right here for the flutes, actually that's not the flute, that's the empty track that I'm gonna record saxophone into. But this flute part right here, that part I'm gonna match it with saxophone. So when it's all said and done, that track will have, you know, flute saying what it's playing, it'll have clarinet playing what it's playing, and it'll also have saxophone playing what it's playing. And that's a way that I used to record like really, really often. But somewhere along the line, I decided that saxophone wasn't that predominant to me, and it was something maybe that I didn't need. And I think that when I did that, I didn't maybe make the best decision, because I felt like my music sounded really, really full in a diverse type of way with diversified types of instruments. You know, to me, when I have like straight brass, to me, my ears feel like the track sounds somewhat very aggressive. And horns have that, you know, that brass reflective tone. It's doesn't mean you can't play them smoothly, but when you end up having tracks that have woodwinds and brass in them, you can kind of hear the difference between how they how can I say this? It's like how they support one another, how they complement one another is what I'm looking for. Complement. They complement each other very well, you know. And so that's what I'm looking forward to doing. So I'm gonna record those sax with it, and then I need to get my my clarinet out and start working on that. But the cool thing about it is when you play those instruments together, oftentimes when you play them together, they tend to have the same fingerings, so it's pretty easy to play them. I gotta get this reed like lined up well. feel great about the weekend too. I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done, but I started one thing. I'm super happy with, like, more happy with, like, working on my music and the workflow of it all. I opened up my tablet and I put it on the mixer, and I just connected it to Netflix, and I, like, you know, I was able to, like, not like really engage in watching something.
You did what I do.
Yeah. And I felt like, because honestly, man, like, I hate to say it, but like recording can get a little boring. You just focus on making the music and that's all. Even though the music is important, it's the art form and everything. But like I told you on when you came into the studio, that like I felt something interesting when my like visual sense was just like being deprived. It's like there's something to say about like leaving a sense out.
I remember being in school trying to study, and I had the hardest time studying in the library.
Yeah.
Because it was too quiet. And so I'd have to have like some music going or a show going, but I'm not watching it.
Right,
it's
right.
In the background. I don't know why that calms me down. Now when I do my own poetry and stuff, I do turn everything off. When I'm creating.
I had the captions on. I didn't have any volume the whole time, so I kind of was missing out on stuff.
Yeah.
But like just to kind of like in an idle mind moment, I was able to just kind of look up and see. Yeah. You know, I was watching Homecoming, All American, and just to kind of like get the gist of what's happening in the show.
Yeah.
It was cool. Other than like that space for like maybe accidentally jumping into comparison of my music between somebody else's music.
That's just something you have to fight all the time.
Yeah. So is. It so is.
I felt good too. I mean, got something done late at night. Not a nighttime person. Stop sign.
There ain't nobody coming from over there.
Oh, okay.
Not from over there. I mean, not unless they're running across the street and hopping over the freeway.
Yeah, but if you're... Yeah. I visited this church once. My friend.
Peachtree Boulevard.
He's here every day.
Oh, man. So, I'm going to today just listen to my mix kind of over and over on my headphones. I got 2 pairs of headphones. Wirelesses, so I'm gonna listen to that and just kind of think if I can. Well, first of all, I'm gonna enjoy it and listen to the work that I've done, and then I'm gonna see if I can write something down to it. You know, that's about it. I do kind of feel like I'm like aborting my drawing a bit. And I don't even remember what the other thing is because I was having so much fun with recording. I mean, especially adding saxophone in the equation because I'm not like the best woodwind player, but to hear how much you can add by doing something small in various different regions, it becomes like an entire pie when you have like all these little micro slices and you put them together and it sounds like a composition. Because not all music is like complicated, you know?
It's the voicing.
I'm excited about that.
Voicings are the spices.
Can I tell you something I'm a little nervous about? Remember I was telling you about adding alto sax into the mix to thicken up the woodwinds a bit? Obviously, when we get oboe finally, it'll be even more thicker. But, man, I'm a little nervous about adding an alto sax to the equation because I feel like even though most people say that all of their fingerings are potentially the same, there's really nothing to feel nervous about.
Nervous about the fingerings?
Just nervous about playing alto sax because I tend to feel more comfortable with instruments that are in the range of my natural voice.
I understand.
And I think alto would definitely be like higher. But I think perhaps, I mean, they start most, like for example, the Hispanic brother that went out there to the guy to go buy the same tenor sax that I was going to buy, but then he got there and found out that it was an alto, so he left. People must start their children off on alto for a specific reason. It's probably easier. So I probably have nothing to fear but fear itself in that situation. probably gonna be pretty simple. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, just gotta try it.
I know, right?
I
do the thing, get the power.
I mean, that's it. I don't want to say I agree with you because the first time I tried to blow into a clarinet, absolutely nothing happened. Same thing with the flute. But when I blew into the sousaphone, all the sound came out.
Yeah.
I didn't have any trouble. So it wasn't just based on the pitch or the tone of the instrument being a higher, like a treble clef versus a bass clef instrument or something. I don't know. It's just what my body naturally could do. And then the other stuff I just have to work at.
I feel like directors, band directors, sometimes, not everybody, and obviously not blanketing everybody with a statement, but I feel like a lot of times they lean into woodwinds for females, and they lean into brass and drums for guys and stuff.
Absolutely. They didn't even let me try any brass, and I wasn't thinking about it. I was in 6th grade. I don't know what I'm doing.
I know height and like length of limbs would make certain instruments like easier for some people, but I mean, we probably would have some really good, shorter upright bass players and shorter trombone players and tenor sax players.
I've never played an instrument that made me cry until I played sousaphone the first time.
I think you talking about baritone. Or are you talking about my instrument?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you let me try it.
I thought you felt more attracted to baritone or euphonium. I'm gonna have to let you play the baritone because I don't think we owned the baritone at that time. We got the baritone from the gentleman down on the south side off of down Tara Boulevard. And that baritone sounds like, I'm not gonna say it sounds way better, but it's like a deeper kind of tonality, whereas the euphonium to me sounds a little bit more nasal. Even though they sound like the same instrument, like in terms of note range, like where they sit, I feel like they sound exactly the same. But if you're really listening, like it sounds like the euphonium is kind of like talking out its nose just a little bit, like not as diaphragmic.
I wonder if that's a word.
Hey Siri, is diaphragmic a word?
Diaphragmatic breathing is a type of deep breathing exercise that helps you strengthen your diaphragm.
That's not what I said.
Which is a large dome-shaped muscular structure located.
She said diaphragmatic. I said diaphragmic.
From medicine.com.
We're looking for the adjective.
I mean, that is an adjective, probably.
Diaphragmatic breathing. Yeah, so maybe that's the word.
Anyway.
Sounds more diaphragmatic. That sounds like it takes too long. How about just drop nothing and add IC?
Oh my god.
Diaphragmic, baby.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, real talk, man, today was definitely a long day. But, I mean, if I'm being honest, like, it didn't feel like a long day, though. I spent a lot of time working on music over the weekend. My wife had a show, like you all know. And, I mean, I felt like my cup was really full from recording last night. I stayed up a little later than what I would, like. But I was super productive. I saw that adding that visual stimuli, having like, what I'm saying, like a movie or a show or whatever. I mean, of course it's on mute because I'm recording, audio footage at the same time. But I most certainly found a way to like refreshing my recording process. And it felt really, really good, to say almost the very least. So, I do feel it in my eyes a little bit, how I'm like a little bit tired, but I'm looking forward to, I want to record a drum track tonight, just to kind of start up another track, get a nice little perfect loop going on. I am, after I pick up my wife, after I pick up Shanoa, I am going to meet up with a guy to pick up an alto saxophone. So I want to thicken up that woodwind side of things within my mix. I feel like, you know, it could be fuller, more full. You know, I was talking to my friend, my coworker, my bro JP at work, and you know, he understood. I mean, I record with like 5 brass instruments. I'm kind of like trying to match that up with 5 woodwinds as well, so that the mix can be, you know, full in a sense of like equivalence. Not to say that has to be done. It doesn't have to be a rule. You know, that if you record 5 brass instruments, you also need to be recording 5 woodwinds. But, you know, I'm hearing some gaps in the mix and the frequencies that I want to fill, and I think I talked about that a little earlier. But yeah. Also meant to tell you all how I'm just like actually kind of really excited about there is a Cuban salsa band that I'm really interested in playing with. A friend of mine, DJ, contacted me and let me know that he didn't let me know they were looking for a tuba player. He just passed my information off to them and everything like that. So I'm pretty excited about this because I've never played like salsa music before on tuba, and I mean, it's definitely going to be, you know, quite a challenge if we're able to get on the same page. You know, we're kind of having some language barrier issues right now, even though my wife apparently, you know, translated the entire message, you know, into Spanish, you know, so that they could read it. They're just kind of not, I hate to say follow instructions, but, you know, having a manager and everything like that is kind of, it protects you from, you know, certain situations and things happening to you and being in other precarious like situations that you don't want to be in. And so, you know, we're trying to do things by the book and do things by the contract so things end up going well. But people, you know, at times people want to just kind of do what they want to do. You know, sometimes people want to do like handshake deals and they just want you to go by their word and everything like that. But, you know, I don't necessarily only go by the contract and only rock with my manager because I've been burned. But that is also like part of the reason, you know. It's like you don't want to keep going through things and not, you know, hold people accountable to operating, you know, on a higher echelon, on a higher level, you know, with professionalism. And so that's something that, you know, I require now with the way that I work, you know. I mean, I've had to haul equipment up, you know, flights of stairs or whatever the case may be, and people didn't let you know about it. You know, there's certain things that people that are booking you or want you to play or want you to do something, they're not aware of. So that's kind of the contracts in place to not only, you know, hold people accountable, but to also educate them on how, you know, artists and people should be treated. So I'm about to pause this recording for a minute. We got some cop situation going up ahead. Put the camera down, you know. Yo, so finally got the alto sax back to the house, and I'm excited about it. Practiced on it for a little while, and I got like these little first few little notes I'm happy about to go with the track. Yeah, so good morning. Just dropped my wife off at work, and I'm on the way right now to my job. And man, I had fun. I had a comparison this morning that I did with my wife, and because we went to go pick up that alto saxophone yesterday, I think we got a good deal on it. I mean, I did find that it seemed as though like the alto saxophone that I bought is kind of like a beginner's one. The Bundy 2 is the model. The serial number's not important in terms of that right now. But it seemed as though, even though I got it for like $150, it seemed like they go for roughly like around maybe $250, $290. People are trying to get away with like $300 on them. But I saw some on eBay for like $150, $199. I mean, you can't ever be really sure what the condition are on those. So I don't really know what to say. I do feel like we got a nice deal. I don't feel like we got a steal. I feel like it was kind of fair. I'm really happy that the instrument plays and seems to play pretty well, especially for it to have been being sold by somebody that doesn't play the instrument and is not quite sure, what it can do or does or anything like that, or what full functioning capabilities are on the instrument. But, I will say that like it sounded good on the instrument, Hold up, catch this call, my wife's calling. So I'm off work right now. I hate to sound like down in the dumps a little bit, but something unfortunate happened. My wife, she's a part of a poetry fellowship, and it's a pretty big deal. And so essentially what happened was she's also a teacher manager at a college. And so students have orientation today, and she just kind of got her dates mixed up, and she's really upset about that. Not even upset, but just disappointed because she's working on her organization. And I mean, basically she's having to miss her fellowship because of the student orientation. And so, poetry, writing, is her thing. And this is a really important fellowship. People don't get fellowships all the time. People don't get artist residencies all the time. And she's gotten one, but she's having to miss it. And she missed the one before this one. So this is the second one in a row. And I'm just, I know and I believe that everything happens for a reason. And, we're going to get past this too. I was planning on, picking her up from work, or she's going to catch an Uber and be at the house already doing her fellowship. And I was going to go, and my first goal was to like record guitar on my track that I'm working on. I recorded alto saxophone to it last night, as you recall. And then I think my stretch goal was to maybe record sitar, maybe. I haven't recorded sitar on any tracks, or maybe one track. But, my stretch goal was to kind of go out in the yard and just, play my saxophone, one of them, in the yard, and just kind of, just learning my way around the instrument, not really trying to do anything special or anything like that. But, it's going to be darker, when we get home, because my wife's at her orientation, which is a great thing because she wanted this job. And I think sometimes we forget that like where we are in life is somewhere we inevitably like hoped for, prayed for, wished for, and so that we're there. We also have dynamic solutions that we have to come up with because we have more dynamic problems because we're in a different situation. Sometimes better, sometimes lateral, but a lot of times better, so I'm a tad bit disappointed, you know, that the sun's out and we're not going to be heading home, but chances are it'll probably be dark when we get home. I don't know. But, you know, it kind of is what it is, you know. I was watching a video today by, I think it's Pink Lady Apple House. I can't remember. I don't know the brother's name. That's his YouTube channel. But he was talking about how perhaps the process is actually the art. And so I'm just really interested in, you know, what dynamicism we're able to pull out of this situation. What, you know, how much more creative are we able to be because of what we're experiencing? You know, the different type of things, the more dynamic the things that you experience, the more dynamic solutions you have to come up with. So I'm really interested in, you know, what we make of the medium that we're presented with, you know? I'm really interested in seeing what comes of that. Yeah. So, I'm really joyful. We made it home, and Shanoa got a chance to make it into her poetry fellowship right now. So, I'm really excited about that. You can hear them in the background. Scared to go, but I was like, I'm at a point like to come back to that part. You know, if you hear the snapping, you know that means they're doing poetry. So I'm really happy about that for her. So now I'm getting ready to get myself started because the goal that I made for myself this evening was to I'm gonna pull out the guitar and try to put some chords on top of it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I want to, tonight I want to use like the wah-wah pedal because what else says funk? Like the wah, you know, so that's kind of what I want to do, but yeah. Now we gotta find us some tuning. We're on track 16. I'm happy that MPC like put a tuner in the software, cause God knows every time I get ready to like play guitar, that I either can't find my tuner, or I mean it just feels like I hate to say it feels like a dumb thing to like have to have or have to purchase when you got like $1,000 machine. You know what I mean? I got like strings twisted and stuff. I don't even know how that happened. I don't be cutting. In my opinion, I think that's close enough for me. Now, let's figure out what, I think I want headphones on to kind of get more precise sound. I need to cop some more headphones because these things been like sagging on my left ear. It's like I DJ'd them with them like one time, and then like that's what it does. Listen to it a bit. I think it's time to kind of play with it. Let's see. All right, let's see what we get. Okay, so I like that. I just didn't like, in my like honest opinion, I just kind of wasn't ready. but I like it. It's interesting trying to like mix the whole track, and like basically what I've been trying to do is like I've been trying to like mix this entire track just through gain staging without any effects, without any reverb, anything like that. And so it's very interesting, you know. I feel like it's really teaching me how to stay in the mixing process when it's time to mix, and then when it's time to master, stay in the mastering process. Like, don't try to do like, you know, 5 or 6 of them at the same time. You know, do one when you're supposed to be doing that one, you know, and do the other one when you're supposed to be doing the other one, you know, because it's really kind of hard to do them all at the same time. But yeah. So I've been like, I didn't think I was gonna pull this out like at all. Pull my sitar out. It's a unique instrument, but you know, I think I've been kind of like scared to form a relationship with the instrument enough to like play it. You know what I mean? So apologies, I'm like looking away. I got my cord like tangled here, but that's what that sounds like. That Philly sound. Let's tune it up. I like how that sounds. It sounds very, very harmonic and just, I don't know, like the sitar has a way of like really wiggling its way like into your heart. I love it though. First time recording a sitar, and I'm really excited about this. Like, it's just so beautiful. I feel like I want a little bit more mid-range in there, more bass in. Alright, let's see. Get excited and play the wrong thing. Y'all ever do that? It's funny, like I kind of cheated a little bit on this mixer, and I like tuned the mixer a little bit instead of keeping everything at like 12 o'clock. When I did that, I changed the sound of the sitar actually. Like it lost its twang kind of. But here we go. It's like not perfect yet, but like I'm feeling it. I'll be back with y'all when I get it right. I gotta say I'm like super duper happy with myself today because I had like 2, maybe 3 goals today, which was one was to add guitar with wah on it, you know, funky guitar wah on my track. So I added that. I added another goal that wasn't even a part of it, which was adding the sitar, which, you know, I'm not over criticizing it. It's not necessarily what I would focus on putting in, but, you know, I added that. Then I said I wanted to play my saxophone in the yard, and then my next goal for the end of the night, and this is all after a day's worth of work, was to basically drop into the timeline on iMovie, where I'm editing for now, to drop in there, you know what I mean, just some the timeline like all the videos I've been working on and just drop them all in. So that's the only other thing I haven't done after I blow a note on this saxophone, which I don't know what it is, but like when I play saxophone around animals, I tend to hit notes that I wouldn't hit. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, yeah. That's kind of that. I'm just noticing this big old like wasp nest or whatever this is, like really close to my bedroom window. I'm happy with myself because I did the thing. Good morning. Now I'm just exporting the track to my cell phone so I can listen to it today at work. Let's see. Do a share and an airdrop. I boosted the levels just a little bit just to see how comparative the volumes are with like other release music. I think I boosted it up around like -1 dB. No. Actually, it's a little bit over 0, so I might actually have to compress it in streaming platforms. But yeah, yep. So we are on the way to work this morning. Breakfastless and sleepy. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I don't know. But nah, we're doing good, doing well. We did a lot of our art last night and everything, so we've been making sure that we've been feeling full when it comes time to do other people's work. Y'all know Shanoa, we did get a chance to get her to a portion of her fellowship last night.
Thank you.
No problem. I recorded, like you know already, some alto, no, not alto sax, guitar and sitar last night. But I did go out in the yard and just kind of work on connecting with the instrument, you know, so that was cool. Other than that, we're just on our commute right now to work. Yes, indeed. Oh, the joy. Yo, so I'm chilling out here, just outside enjoying this lizard running up this tree right now. Just finished eating some salmon and some rice, and everything's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Today they were giving out flu vaccination and COVID booster shot, I guess you call it. And as a reward, as a treat, they were giving away like colored Nike socks, and I don't know, that just kind of excited me, and I was just kind of checking with everybody to see like who didn't want their socks. I was like, you know, collecting all these socks. They have these like Nike socks that are like rainbow colored, I'd say, you know, so they have like not like per pair, but like one is like blue and then one's red and then one's like purple and one pair is like yellow and all of this stuff. And so essentially, like I said, I've talked to everybody that like didn't want their pair, and like I just kind of like collected like all of the colors, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I got orange, I got green, you know, I got blue, and I got purple and yellow, and so I did kind of like that. I did that harsh labor of like collecting them from everybody and everything. And then after the fact, you know, I talked to our team and found out that like our team at my job was actually the ones that were giving them away. So they ended up having a whole bunch left at the end, and I was able to get like even some more. So that was just really exciting for me. Just a small thing that for whatever reasons was actually really exciting. And so, but other than that, man, just chilling, watching some YouTube on my phone and relaxing, hanging out. I really thought to myself that I wanted to do like a lot of I was thinking about bringing my saxophone to work and just kind of walking around and blowing and this and that and the third. I didn't end up doing that just because I was running a little bit behind the proverbial 8 ball this morning, because I kind of went to sleep, and then I honestly like overslept and didn't want to get out of the bed much, so I didn't get my horn out. But I felt good today anyway, you know. I think tomorrow I might bring, you know, one of my instruments to work and just kind of play and just, you know, walk around and play during lunch. Maybe that's something I'll start doing again. I used to do that with my tuba at lunch. a lot of people ask, you know, hey, where's your horn? You bringing it back out, you know? So I might start doing that again. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what my next goals are. I was actually listening to the track that I made, I'm still working on it. I added parts to last night, the guitar and the sitar. And for some reason, like, I'm kind of not feeling the guitar in there and the sitar in there that much. So I don't know if it's an acceptance issue or if it's like just not feeling it because I feel like it doesn't work. But we will see.
I would say as you go up, well, I don't want to say up in the world, but when you have more responsibility, you have to also increase your level of humility. Because what I'm finding out is the more I'm responsible for, the more people can see my mistakes, kind of, you know? Like when I do something well, everything just goes according to plan and nobody really notices that it's well, because it's the way it's supposed to be. But when I mess up, which is often because I'm new, everybody feels it. It just affects a lot of people. And I'm finding myself, I'm not like running around like, I'm sorry, but I am like owning, oh, you know what? I didn't make the best decision on that one. You know, I apologize and I'm learning from this. Thank you for the feedback. And I'll know what to do next time. But
I think instinctually you already had the humility for it all, because if you didn't have the humility, you wouldn't be in a position. You don't get put in a position to make mistakes and not know how to like address the mistakes. So I think you're on a higher level than what you think you're on. So yeah, wrapping up the end of the day. I'm excited about a routine that I want to try out. One of my favorite creators so far he gets up in the morning at 4 a.m. and he starts to create from 4 to 7 before work. So long day today, so Shanoa and I are getting ready to go to bed and start up this morning routine in the morning. Yeah, so had a tough day today. I didn't record. I kind of wanted to take this moment and just really spend it with myself. But I did take my saxophone. That's the case right there in the back. I took my alto saxophone to work today. And what I did was basically at lunch, I just kind of walked around and I just blew a little bit, you know, and it was really cool. You know what I mean? I did that, and you know, I just kind of wanted to work on like connecting with the actual instrument. You know, I didn't want to like, I mean, how can I say it? I just didn't want to, you know, I wanted to be connected with what I was doing, so to speak. You know, I didn't really want to focus on doing anything else, and it was cool. You know, I had a real good time. I'm up here kind of editing the settings on the camera at the same time, but yeah, I just walked around the parking lot and I just played a lot of saxophone, alto sax. I was working on like some low notes and stuff like that, which was cool. You know, I'm thinking about bringing a different instrument to work every day, and just kind of walking around and just acquainting myself with the instrument and playing more and more and more, familiarize myself. You know, I didn't, however, like record last night. My goal was to like get up at 4 a.m. I was super inspired by the Pink Lady Apple House YouTube channel, because he gets up at like 4 in the morning and, you know, before work, and then puts in his kind of studio session at that time of the day. And so that schedule actually works really well with my time schedule as well, because I go in around 7-8ish also. So I got to be in at 8:30. So I figure like if I shut my studio session down around 7 also, And I can also be getting like a 3-hour studio session in before the day. But the only problem is like somebody at my job caught COVID, for example, and my wife suggested to me taking this particular supplement. Well, I took the supplement, and the supplement actually got like stuck in my throat because I took the supplement, without any water. And, man, it's been very uncomfortable, so I didn't record and do all these things that I really wanted to do within my goal this morning just because of how radically uncomfortable I was feeling. And maybe I should have recorded anyway. Maybe that was a challenge, to me to get that done and everything like that. So, maybe I just didn't make it, but, I tried and I can try better. So, Just made a little bit of tea this morning. I got mint and, what is this other one called? Green citrus, which is basically just green tea with orange peel in it. It's about 3:45-ish. It's not even quite 4 a.m. yet, but I wanted to get my day started and everything like that. Like I said, last week I missed my 4 a.m. kind of start. I wasn't feeling good. So yeah, I didn't start it. My throat was sore, so I didn't really want to, record instruments because a lot of instruments I record are wind instruments. But here we go. My tea. Washed the dish because my wife had actually washed the dishes last night, and somebody put one dish in the sink, which you can't see right now because I cleaned it real quick, striving for that cleanness all the time. But anyway, I took that one dish and cleaned it out and planted aloe vera in it. My desk get wet. So first of all, I kind of had some chords that I used from my studio for my DJ gig on Saturday. So I'm kind of like rewiring the studio up a little bit. I have a lot of chords that I got to do, but I do have some. So that's what I'm working on right this moment. Basically, that was my cord, my XLR cord that goes to my microphone that I use to record my horns on, which I probably won't be recording horns like this morning. My goal for this morning is actually to record the drum loop. So I laid this out last night, which is just my my snare drum stand. I'm pretty much out of the frame right now. Show y'all this from a different angle. Yeah, so I got my snare stand here. And then I had used some tape actually to tape down the snares on the bottom of the drum so that they resonate but not so loud. So yeah, there we go. Now we got the snare set back up. I'm gonna put my floor tom. My floor tom is gonna be over here on this side. I have a pedal out here, and then I have my saxophone stand over here, which is gonna have to shift to the other side. Meanwhile, this big old floor tom that I use for fills. So yeah, the floor tom is gonna go over here. There we go. So yeah, now I basically got my drum set set up, you know, nicely. Now I'm just kind of shifting some things to be able to have the amount of space I need. I have so I need to pull out an XLR cord to mount. Well, I already have my snare drum mic right here. Now I'm just gonna go into the other room because I think my other XLR cord that I use for my snare drum is in my bag from this weekend's set. So I'm gonna get that, but before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and set up, well not set up, but I need to open up this MPC software on my computer because I'm going to be working in controller mode. So if you don't know what controller mode is, which is not super duper duper important, but controller mode basically allows you to use more than, I think, 8 tracks in order to record. And so because I end up having all of these horns and stuff on my tracks, I definitely need controller mode. So I also have my morning list of what I want to record this morning, which is drums and tuba, which is my bass horn. And yeah, so I've got those two set up. Now I'm just gonna go into the other room and go and get my another XLR cord out of my gig bag, so I can plug in this this snare mic that I had. It's down here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah. So this is my microphone for my snare right here. So I'm gonna wire that up. It's not wired up yet, so yeah, be right back. If you ask anyone, they'll tell you that the bee's knees of running your own studio is untangling chords. It's the best, man. Like, this is what I wake up in the morning at 4 a.m. to look forward to, is untangling chords. It's like a grown-up version of, it's like playing a grown-up version of Needle in a Haystack if it were an actual game, you know? Like, I love this, like, untangling chords. But that's the cool thing about XLR cords, that, believe it or not, like, I don't know why I never actually noticed it or paid attention to it, but it's that, you know, if you got an XLR cord and you need to extend it, you can just extend it by putting another one and then another one in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about this. I'm even more excited about what I'm gonna do next, which is I'm gonna pull out one of the I'm always recording bass lines in my phone. I don't do it as much often. I mean, I still do it, but there was a point in time where, you know, what I would do to plan out my next album, because one of the magic tricks of one of the organizations that I used to be a part of was the bass lines basically create the chord progression of whatever you're gonna make. So because I'm a really good bass player and I come up with very you know, good bass lines, and people like my bass lines, I like my bass lines, and I enjoy my bass lines, you know, when I'm really getting into it. And so I have some bass lines recorded into my cell phone that I can't wait to record. Well, I kind of can wait because I'm just enjoying this game of untangle and to untangle a chord, you know, at this present moment. But you know, once we finish this up, then what I'm gonna do is pull that bass line out of my sound recorder on my iPhone that I just did by vocally, you know what I mean? And after I do that, I'm gonna allow myself to get the tempo from that bass line. I'm not gonna record it immediately. I'm gonna record the drums first, but we're gonna use that bass line to find our drum tempo, and then we'll record the drum tempo, and then we'll record the bass tempo after that. After I go get some tea. Now that the tangled cord is finally untangled, I can close this door because we're gonna record some drums and wake up everyone in the house. No, I'm just playing, but my wife's not really like that sleep right now anyway. But I'm gonna go ahead and run this. Snare drum chord back to the mixer, which I tend to just kind of wrap it around this stand a little bit, and then I'm not going to drop it on the bass drum because that could provide some vibrations unwanted. So I run it behind the kick drum mic, in between my trombone, behind my crash cymbal. And I recorded some drums last week that sounded pretty good, and I didn't mic my crash or my floor tom, and they came through pretty good. For a simple mic setup, I really enjoyed it. So we got the MPC on. I'm gonna do a 8-bar loop, and let's go ahead and turn the mixer on. I'm pretty sure I fooled with these levels, but I'm going to. Okay, so now I need to. My mixer is not currently wired to the mixer. It's wired to my MPC speakers, and it always does that and provides that feedback because the microphone on the laptop is so close to the speakers and they just feed back into one another. Now I'll just turn my make sure that my monitor speakers that I use are turned down. I actually need to go into the other room and get my Sony MDR 7506s in here. I was using them yesterday to make a drum and bass or jungle beat. I was using them to make a jungle beat on my Dave Smith Instruments Tempest. So let me go grab those real quick because I'm really excited to record with them this morning actually. Alright, so I got my Sony headphones. Had to use my phone to shine a flashlight in the room because my wife has got the lights out in there right now, so I can't see anything, but I'm super excited about this. These Sony headphones, like I said before, I used to use these in college, man. I really like them. They sound, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of can't remember how great or how bad they might sound, but the thing that I do like about them is they don't exaggerate any sound frequencies. You know what I mean? So the bass and end is not like, you know, boosted or anything like that, so you get a true sound on your mix. And that's what you need if you're trying to like get a accurate, you know, reading on what things really sound like. My battery right now is on 80 something percent, so on MPC Live, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this sucker up so we don't have any surprises while recording. Plus if I want to record anything at lunch at work, my battery's not low, so I could potentially I could record in the parking lot if I wanted to or something. Now let's do my flying trapeze artist move, and that's to try to not knock this T over on this drum right now, which I don't even know if you can see, but it's all good. All right, we got that plugged up. So yeah, so next we need to pretty much get recording ready. So I'm gonna just grab these probably can't see it, but I'm gonna grab these drumsticks out of this closet. And then we'll prepare to I'm actually thinking in my brain whether I want to record like a multiple angle kind of situation right now. So I think the next thing that we need to basically do is, you know, first I get these headphones on and get recording ready. Then we're gonna listen to this bass line and tap a tempo to it. So in my phone we have this bass line that goes like this. So tap the tempo to that. Like I said before, we're not going to record the bass line yet, but we're going to allow the bass line to show us where we're going. So right now, I think last I checked, the snare, kick, and hi-hat drums. So we're going to have to definitely like record some different takes on these just because we don't know where the levels are sitting right now. Even though like I got the monitoring headphones on in my ear, but there's not any sound going into the speakers right now. So I'm gonna quickly do kind of like a little sound check here, see what levels are. Snare is turned off, so. And then kick. tend to like my kick like a little louder, to be honest. And then my hi-hat is like off right now. Y'all can't really see that, but let me bring this around. Yeah, so hi-hat's off, but I need to open it up so I can kind of play some open hat parts and hi. And I'm just kind of like reading the meter. All right, so we got the tempo tapped in already. So I'm going to next just kind of make sure that my I'm gonna next make sure that my mixer is basically what was I about to say? Make sure that my levels are pretty much right, and I'll record like a kind of like a test or whatever. I also need to turn this fan off so it's not recording any sound in the room. What was I gonna say about my mixer? I need to make sure I get this metronome turned on for recording. So this metronome actually seems kind of fast, so I'm gonna play this bass line again with it. So that's about it right there. Tempo's actually right about at 80. It was a little too fast at first. I was like, yo, this thing feels like kind of fast, like super fast. So, cool. We're good on metronome. I'm gonna turn the metronome off in the speakers of the MPC live so that we can actually like not record the metronome back into the speakers, because that's something that you like don't want to do. You do not want to record your metronome into the freaking recording so that the metronome's coming back out of the headphones and all that. You don't want that. But let's see what we can get on the drum set in terms of sounds and levels, and see if we need to turn any of the drums down or anything like that. So now I'm just kind of reaching to the playhead. And a couple of things that I always do is I always zoom out so that I can see the full bar range of like the 8 bars on the whole thing when I'm recording, because I want to see that I'm approaching the end or whatever the case may be. I should be able to hear the metronome a whole lot better now that I have headphones that don't sag on my ears anymore. So I'm happy about that. like real far from me right now. So if I want to hit this, I ain't gonna be able to reach it. But okay, it's also like leaning in a very precarious kind of way. But let's see what we can get going. It's 435. I also think this angle of this snare is a little bit too far from where it was when I was recording it. I was recording like my my conga, like a whole bunch of percussion instruments on this snare. So so this mic, snare mic, so it's a little bit. All right, let's see what we can get. I don't know if I turned this MPC live speaker off yet. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Hopefully our levels are good. Push this mic back a little bit onto here. So here we go. All right. So I don't have a problem with that, how that sounded in my ear, so to speak. But for some strange reason, I didn't hear the metronome in my ear while I was recording. So I'm gonna change the settings on the metronome. Let's see what the levels sounded like. I feel like my kick actually sounds a little weird. Which is not terrible, but we'll just test it out again and see. And the hi-hat sounds a little bit loud. So I'm gonna bring that hi-hat down, erase what I got, bring the mix up just a little bit. Okay. These levels sound a little bit more realistic to me. Now I just want to make sure I hear. Alright, let's make sure we hear metronome in the headphones this time. Alright, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2. Now we're just trying to make sure that what I just recorded and the loop just comes back around like a full loop. Cause like when you're recording, like for example, I'm recording an 8-bar loop. So once you get to the and of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. You're trying to make sure that the loop comes around in a perfect fashion. So that's what I'm trying to do. So it's not perfect, and I do want it to be a perfect loop. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to record that again. But I think the only adjustments that I would have is I think I want a little bit more snare, a little bit less hi-hat, and I could take a little bit more kick, to be honest. So that's what I just tuned up on the mixer. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I started listening to the metronome too much, and I lost the groove on that one. So, unfortunately, got to record it again. Or fortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4. My kick actually sounds a little bit too loud now, and bring that back. Hi-hat's real loud. Although it's funny though, because this last one that I just recorded, the loop was perfect. So let's do it again. I made those adjustments. I brought the snare up a little bit. I dropped the kick a little bit. You can't even see my hand over here actually, but I got the mixer over here as well, that I was kind of tuning up on there. But let's go ahead and try to record this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. On one of those tapes, it felt like one of the microphones got hit. And sometimes when you're recording drums, you'll accidentally hit the stick on the mic, but I don't have a microphone near me to hit, so I don't know which one that was. But let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 4. So yes. Open the door.
I'm trying to sleep.
It's literally the only time I had to record the whole day. I'm so sorry.
If I don't get a certain amount of hours of sleep, that's one of the things that pulls my face from the shoes.
Now I can't record because my family members. The only other thing I can think about is going all the way back to some recording that we did just now. It was less than perfect because something that used to never be an issue is now an issue. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of how life is. Life will provide you with problems and you got to find a solution. And as soon as you get your goal, there's going to be another problem that's going to arise. So we're going to have to use one of these recordings. That was the one where it sounded like a microphone got hit. So we can go to another one. So we're gonna use that one. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So we'll cut the metronome off and then you can really hear how it turns around. See that? Like it's got like this. We're gonna try to work with it, you know. I hate when stuff starts messing with our recording process. It's like, yo, like we only have a few things that we can really do. I mean, so currently what I'm gonna do is just do kind of some rough mixing on the drums, just cause I mean they feel less than perfect. I mean it's like not a perfect loop. I mean other thing I can maybe think of is like maybe changing it to a 4-bar loop and seeing and pasting that twice. Let's see. Sounds like awkward, but it's less than perfect, but I'm gonna leave it. I normally don't try to like do any mixing or nothing, but it seems like my kick is like actually a little boomy. But whatever. Right now it's really stuck in my brain. It's like how can I record my tuba line when I'm getting like, you know, basically complaints about recording in the morning now, which never used to be a problem. just want to get my dream. Like, I just want to get my goal taken care of, you know what I'm saying? Like, my wife is right next door, not complaining, but my mom is complaining like freaking 100 feet across the room. And I know everybody pretty much in the world, you know, that gets a Grammy or gets anything, they always thank their mom and they bless their mom and they buy their mom a house and they buy their mom a car and everything like that. But I mean, I just feel like there's so many obstacles coming up at me from every direction. And I'm not trying to like not respect any particular person or anything like that. But it's like, if you continue to adjust, and I mean, not even adjust, but if you continue to like not do things that you can do to reach your goal, then you'll never reach it. You know what I mean? You'll be at work bitter as heck because you accommodated every single person along the way. And then at the end of the day, there's nothing left for yourself. And I'm not trying to be selfish, but sometimes you have to be. And I think I'm going to record this bass line anyway. You know? Be ba ba be ba da be da ba 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 dee ba da be da ba 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 dee ba dee ba da ba dee ba be da da ba dee ba da ba dee ba be da ba dee ba da ba dee ba ba dee ba be da ba da ba dee ba da. So I'm gonna try to learn the bass line and play it. You know what I mean? Like learning it and playing it are two different things. So, you know, I'm gonna work on learning it right now. I went with a drum section that I had recorded. It wasn't perfect, but it was something that, in my opinion, will like allow us to convey the particular idea that we're trying to convey with this piece, with this given piece right now. So, I mean, like I said before, it's definitely not the perfect part that I wanted to do, you know, the whole time. But I mean, I think I sacrificed, you know, enough because it is like less than what I wanted to, you know, create. So I'm gonna sit here, and this reel to reel is kind of throwing me off a little bit. I didn't know what that was in the clip, so to speak. But it's about 4:55, so it roughly took like around an hour to get the drum part ironed out and interrupted. You know what I mean? Y'all, I hope y'all don't think that I'm just like disrespectful and don't love my family. You know what I mean? I'm just, sometimes you start to notice that people around you, especially in this generation, like you start to notice that not the people that live around you, but you'll notice through like siblings or different things that like people have sometimes, like the younger generation pretty much has always kind of sacrificed their life for those that came before them. And sometimes I have a problem with that. Sometimes I have issues where I have to really deal with it because it's like, I feel like sometimes the adults in particular generations have a knack for sometimes like it's like, how can I explain this? It's kind of like because I birthed you and because I had you, you're supposed to take care of me. And I know different generations have a different way of living and we all live differently, but there's something about, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to get cared for if you're in your older years and that you shouldn't be able to get help or anything like that, or that we should not be helping the older generation. I do think that we should be helping, But I think there's something a little bit interesting and strange about the fact that like you're supposed to sacrifice your life and you know like not be able to go after your goals while like caring for them. Like I'm just trying to figure that out and understand that. You know, I feel like a younger generation should want to do it, but I don't feel like it should be like your personal obligation. Like, you know, I mean, y'all let me know, like, what do you think about that? I mean, I feel like this could be like a tough topic to talk about or discuss, but I mean, like, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about me being 36 years old and, you know, like a relative, a parent being 60 something years old, you know, and both of my parents are very different, you know, and I'm not trying to like air out my laundry or anything like that, but I think it's more like talking about an idea. You know, what do you think about the idea of, you know, putting your dreams on hold in order to care for someone, or just stopping what you're doing in order to, I don't know, you know, I feel like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not gonna pull the Green Arrow card. You know, I know it's what is it, C Network or CW Network with like the Flash and Green Arrow on it. The people on those shows, they always say like, "Oh man, it's all my fault," or like like there's always a constant narrative of like shame and blame going on in those television shows where it's like, you know, this woe is me attitude is always happening. Like, you know, and I can't sit here and say that like I can't hear some of those ideas and thoughts in my head while I'm talking to you guys right now. Like, oh man, like if you didn't live with your parent, if you didn't live with your mother, you'd never have to go through this. You know, you just get your own place, and then you know that problem won't be yours anymore. You know, or whatever. I don't really know what, you know, what else ideal there is to think about. I know for a fact that like, you know, my wife's in full support of the direction I'm going, but like I'm not in like commitment to like my mother. I'm in commitment to my wife. So that's kind of the construct that I kind of want to throw as a curveball to you, is that like, you know, I'm not saying you got to be biblical or spiritual to like understand this construct or to follow this construct. Maybe you do to follow it, but like in the Bible it says, for this one reason only a man leaves his mother and cleaves to his wife, and that's because they're married. So it's like when I'm married to my wife, my obligation is to take care of my wife. My obligation isn't necessarily to take care of my mother, but it's a different construct because I live with my mother right now. And while I respect her and I want her to have great health, my number one obligation is to be able to provide for my wife. I'm not married to my mother, so it's really hard for me to stop creating music, stop making things that, no disrespect, like I don't do this for that. Like I love to create, and this has been something I've been doing since been in music and band involved since I was like 4 years old, and so is my whole family. But it's really hard for me to stop doing something because someone else's health needs a certain amount of sleep, when the thing that I'm doing, like this channel is actually monetized, you know, and I'm super blessed and I'm thankful. I don't know if that's a thing that I'm not supposed to discuss or say on the channel, because I'm not trying to use it to get more eyes on my channel or to encourage you. I'm not trying to get you to encourage you to continue watching the video because of that rationale or that reason. But I am sharing that construct because that construct is a construct to me that sounds like something that you would encourage somebody to do. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, like my mother's the type of person that actually sleeps with headphones on. She sleeps with like positive affirmation type things, talking and speaking in her head, and like maybe the drums in the other room is like covering that up. Of course, she probably, you know, she's got to be hearing it if she came into the next room, you know what I mean? But it's just a hard construct for me to understand. Not even understand, like I get it, but it's a hard point to to do. And I guess maybe like what you might be thinking, and I know I've been talking about this forever, but like maybe, you know, I think what you guys might suggest is like, oh, well, you should record in the evening when you're off work. And it's like, I get what you might say about that. But as someone that creates, one thing that you've learned and that you found out is that after you've worked 10 hours in a warehouse all day, your mental energy is you know, exacerbated. Like you feel like you don't have anything in the tank left. You know, I've always tried my best to give my first energy to the most important thing to me. And it's really hard for me after work to try and come into the studio and create and make things. And I've got a long itinerary of things to get done, you know what I mean? So I got a schedule of things on this list to get done in the AM as well as the PM, you know what I mean? Like, just for the AM today, the goal is to record drums and record my bass horn, my tuba, which is the bass part. Then at lunch, I wanted to record clarinet and or baritone. During the shift, I'm supposed to be discovering more jungle music, 80s boogie funk, because my 80s repertoire of music in my library is not that large. Like, I don't know that much of those tunes because I was born in 1988. So when I'm playing music for people that were born in the late 70s or in the early 80s, I noticed that I'm kind of skipping over a whole period of time, you know, because I went and dug into the 70s music, but I didn't dig too hard into the 80s, you know, because things got real electronic. And for me, that's something that I had to build an appreciation for, because I really love like acoustic instruments a whole lot from being a band, you know, pretty much a band head. But I mean, then at nighttime, my shift, not shift, but like what I plan to do was upload the Wonder Years to streaming. So I have a whole album. It's probably got like 20 something songs that I'm supposed to be uploading later on. But, you know, in addition to that, because I had, by the time the PM of today comes, I wanted to have recorded the drums and the tuba. And then I was going to pack my MPC live too and try to record my clarinet and or B-tone. That's 2 horns, one brass and 1 woodwind. But keep in mind, like when I record my horn tracks, I normally record about 6 brass horns, and I normally record, I think I want to say 3 or 4 woodwinds. There's clarinet, there's alto saxophone, there's tenor saxophone. I think those are the only, and flute. So there's 4 woodwinds that I need to record on this track. And then when it comes to brass instruments, there's trumpet, there's flugel, there's cornet. So trumpet, flugel, cornet, mellophone, baritone, euphonium, trombone, and that's it. So 7 brass instruments and 4 woodwinds. And this morning I would have recorded, I don't count my tuba because I put that into the bass horn realm, so it's playing like a bass guitar part, and I don't record it with those other instruments. They're not playing the same parts. The bass line is by itself. The horns are playing their part, brass horns, and then the woodwinds are playing like a call response thing. So if I only recorded 2 of those at lunch, and there's a total of 10, and some of them share the same finger, and so it's easy for me once I learn one to go to the next one, with the exception of trombone because it's got a slide instead of valves on it. That's a lot of stuff to be trying to like record and finish kind of like one day. And I mean, it's something I might not have shared with you all yet, but you know, I think I maybe talked in a video and talked about how, like, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I hate my job, but I think in my most recent vlog, I released the comment, the idea that I basically didn't realize how naive I was to the fact that I was interested in the gear at my job more so maybe than the job itself. So the positive way of, you know, adding energy to that idea without plainly being a bitter person was to say that, hey, you know what? I have a monetized YouTube channel. I need to do my best to put my best foot forward and actually make films and videos for the audience that I'm blessed with to be able to have there, to be able to watch the videos. And I'm not talking about just subscribers, because the good thing about subscribers is that they're wonderful people, they're awesome, they're close to you. Like your subscribers, they're like your neighbors in your neighborhood or your subdivision or your hood, whatever you want to call it. But the whole like atmosphere of YouTube is kind of like a place, a world where you can share as much, whatever, whenever, as long as it's positive and it's constructive and it's artistic. You know, it can be anything. And so I'm trying to create as much as I can for you all and for myself, you know what I mean? Because I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. Like I got a scholarship to my college off of a YouTube video. YouTube has provided so many opportunities to me, and I don't want to take them for granted by barely creating and barely putting anything out on it. You know, how do you give yourself a fair shot and a good enough opportunity if you don't actually make anything? So like I said before, like I love my family very much, but I've never chosen any relationships in my life that would draw back at me being able to create. My wife doesn't try to stop me from creating, ever. She doesn't try to stop me. But I guess the thing about it is, it's like you, like, and I'm not trying to say I don't love my family, I don't love my parents. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact of the matter is you don't pick or choose your parents. So you can't pick a parent that like always wants you to create or that doesn't always want you to create or anything like that. So, and my mother's never been that way to me. This is literally like the first time in life I feel like she's ever walked in the room and told me like, yo, I'm trying to sleep and I can't, like because of my, and I'm not gonna talk about what she has or what she's been diagnosed with, but basically like she told me that her blood sugar can be affected by the amount of sleep and rest that she does or does not receive. And so while I care about her health so much, the problem is that I barely earn enough money to like take care of myself and my wife. And I earn additional supplemental income from creating on my YouTube channel. And it's like, you're trying to make me stop doing something that helps the entire household. I need to do this as much as possible, but you're trying to stop me. What do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with that? Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, sometimes these bass lines take a long time to record, just like to learn them or whatever. But the good thing is that I didn't have to do so much work trying to learn this one. I did really take my time, like kind of trying to learn the note or whatever, the notes, but I took it really slow. And it was the one out of the sound recorder, if you might recall. It was. So I think we kind of cleaned up the mud a little bit on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and I think it's the Creative Age brand that essentially makes this ribbon microphone, tube ribbon microphone. It's really good to record on. I keep it up under this the blue cloth that it comes with. So I mean, the room is pretty much like loud enough to record this microphone very well without it needing to be kind of like direct or whatever. But I'm trying to figure out right now if I'm gonna record this this part like playing directly at the mic or not. I think I'm gonna record myself playing at the mic, but I also think I'm about to stop like playing in this room with this big old office chair, because this thing is starting to bother me. It takes up so much space. Like I'm kind of like on the verge of like hurling this chair out of a window. Joking. All right, so I got my stool back in here, and I know it's probably not the most comfortable thing to work on, but I just like how it takes up so much less space. You know what I mean? Like versus that really, really large chair that I'm gonna have to throw away some kind of way. But anyway, let's get to recording this this tuba part. So I'm gonna cut off my speaker. The interesting thing about that particular actually I think it's creative engineering. I don't think it's Creative Age. Actually it is. It's Creative Age project. I really like this microphone. A friend of mine, it's an active tube mic. Yeah, a friend of mine, Josiah, he mixes a lot of things and always kind of puts me up on really cool things that I might want to know about. He told me about this microphone, and he was telling me, he's like, yo, like, Pat, bro, like, if I were to record you playing tuba in my studio, I would run that tuba through the freaking Creative Age tube ribbon mic. So I was like, all right. I mean, you know, I did some research on it and everything like that. And then I just kind of went with it, you know, off of his opinion. And I'm definitely still very happy about it. I'm checking the trim and just kind of mixing or whatever. I think I want to bring these levels down just a little bit. The microphone is currently muted. It's a very, I don't want to call it a touchy microphone, but one thing you kind of got to do is make sure the phantoms fly off. There's some very like detailed instructions on like how to use the microphone and everything like that. You got to like definitely, you know, you don't want to blow out a nice mic like that for sure. So yeah, but so I've engaged the track already. Now I'm just working on just a tad bit of organization, which is just labeling my track. So when I go back to mix it, I'm not like going through a bunch of tracks trying to figure out, you know, which one this is. And I'm labeling the instrument, you know, like like specifically what it is. I don't know if one day, you know, my kids will go back through my mixes and look at it and be trying to figure out, you know, which track is what. So what instrument daddy was playing or whatever. So I always try to label them as, you know, what they are, like as specific instrument, you know. But just a little dust in here. So microphones over there. I'm gonna put the instrument on in just a heartbeat, and just checking everything. Turn this down. I'm gonna be recording on track 16 here. I'm gonna unmute it, turn it down a little bit. Check, 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 check. Yo. So Phantom Supply's off and the track is actually muted. So I'm muting that now. Yo. So I can kind of hear the room a little bit. So I'm bringing it up just a tad bit until I hear like a slight hiss of the room, but not too much. Like I can see the wave frequencies just kind of moving when I'm talking. So, but yeah, I think for this actual recording, since I tend to like overdub horns when I'm playing them, I have like multiple mouthpieces for my tuba over time. This is the Vincent Bach 24AW Megatone. So for recording purposes, I think for my second track, I'm gonna actually record with the Megatone. But on the first one, you know, my pretty much like regular everyday mouthpiece for tuba playing is the Shilkey 69C4. One of the most full tuba players I've ever played with. Used to play on that mouthpiece, and that is his mouthpiece. Like his mouthpiece belonged to a cat by the nickname Jailbait. That was his crab name at Southern University. He's a really good tuba player. He also went to a school whose tubas I really, really respected. He went to Redan High School, and they played really, really well. Amongst another tuba player that I knew, or still know, Aaron Knox plays great tuba. But yeah, bunch of FAMU cats with really great tone, you know. But I'm gonna get ready to. That's what we're gonna play. You're not gonna be able to hear the track, but I'm gonna have the drum track in my ear. I'm gonna be playing the bass line to that. I'm gonna dub it and record it twice. So here we go. It's not really coming through that well. I'm gonna have to bring the track volume up some. And also, like, in my subconscious mind, I don't want to like play that loud because I've like already gotten a complaint, you know what I mean? So it's just like, let me shift this chair back because I got a fan actually above me too, so that's not helping. Alright, let's see what we can get. I'm recording everything pretty much flat. on the mix. Like nothing's boosted. Everything's at 12 o'clock. Maybe I'll give it a little tad of high mid boost and a little tad of a low mid boost. I'm getting some feedback. I think it could be my cell phone being close. I don't know. I just hear a little bit of dirt. All right, let's try this. That like imperfect drum turnaround is bothering me. I'm gonna record it one more time just because there's like a higher note frequency that I was recording. It kind of came out kind of like a fluff. It was like wah wah. I think it sounds good. I think I'm ready to do the dub with the Megatone mouthpiece. I think tone was still good anyway, but this is a deeper cut mouthpiece. So that, like I said before, to keep the track organized, like I said, I'm about to go ahead and label the tracks, and I'm playing a Con 20K sousaphone. So hit do it, and I got that recorded. Well, not recorded, but excuse me, labeled. And I do like the tracks to be a little bit different, so I'm gonna boost the low end just a little more than what it is. So one track is like completely almost 12 o'clock on the mix, and the The high mid is probably at like 2 o'clock. The low mid is kind of like at 2 o'clock, and then the low is like at 2 o'clock. But on the previous track, the low isn't at 2 o'clock. It's at like 12 o'clock. So everything's kind of boosted just a little bit. So we're about to do a overdub of that. So we have 2 tracks of bass line on this. Messed that up, but I also forgot to unmute the doggone track I was recording on. So let's go. Okay, speakers off too. Cool. Missed that note. I'm not satisfied how I'm playing that note quality. 1, 2, 3. You kind of gotta like brace yourself for that, you know? 3, 4. I do hear the warmth from playing it on the megatone, so I'm happy about that. It does sound good. It's still not a perfect loop, and that's bothering me, but it's fine. We're gonna stick with it. It'll be, sorry about that, but it'll be kind of a situation that we have to recall from a period of time, and it'll always be in the body of work, you know? I hate to say it like this, but unfortunately. So now I'm gonna do like a little rough mix on this and try to see like what everything is sounding like, you know? So I had this morning that my goal was to get drums recorded and to get tuba recorded. So with joy, I can say that I got the drums recorded and I got the tuba recorded. Now the next thing that I was gonna do at lunchtime was record clarinet and record baritone. So I'm gonna go ahead and think in my brain about like some baritone part that I can maybe put in here. So I'm gonna underline baritone, I underline clarinet, and I need to kind of make a list of like all the instruments that I could do in here so that I can keep track of how long it takes me to do what, and kind of build a system for myself. So man, just got off of work just now. I ain't got no memory card space. Like no doubt, I like the richness in that. I can honestly say that when I first like played tenor sax, I really didn't like it. I felt like I couldn't really. It was hard for me to access the low frequencies in the in the instrument. I don't want to rag on the instrument, but like I love Con 20K sousaphones, but for whatever reason, it was like really tough to play the Con Shooting Star tenor sax. So yeah. Good morning. So it's definitely past the 4 a.m. wake up time that I wanted to reach this morning and everything, but I'm still kind of recovering. Kind of hurt my throat a little bit from
trying to take a pill, a supplement, you know, without taking it with water. And so, you know, kind of was having some issues. Thought I was going to have to go to the ER. Was trying not to. Apparently, it probably dissolved and everything like that. But tomorrow, I'm going to aim at trying to get up before work and do my 3-hour studio session. Like I said, again, I really love that schedule that Pink Lady Apple House YouTube channel is using, because it, like, I don't know the guy's name, but the Pink Lady Apple House, he does this 4 a.m. to, I want to say he said like 7 in the morning studio session, because his work starts later on, 7, 8-ish. It works perfect for me. I literally go into work at the same time. So I'm really going to work on trying to do that. Other than that, we're about to get out this door, go to work and everything. And after going into work, I'm going to probably just take one of my instruments in and, you know, just play again at lunch. Like I said, I played my alto saxophone yesterday at work. Just didn't record, but it was more of like a spiritual thing. I just wanted to kind of work on just connecting through the instrument, connecting through the horn, like just hearing how, you know, I can basically connect best. But yeah, so, all right. Day after the gig. See you later, babe.
Buddy.
Love you too. It's the day after the gig. I'm getting ready to go and pick up these headphones. My buddy Noble bought me these. He might be in the comments, I don't know, but my buddy Noble bought me these headphones one time. I needed them real badly because my my headphones just weren't doing the job one day. And so he picked up a pair for me. Actually, they were some, I mean, I don't think they were like expensive or nothing crazy, you know, not even like a crazy brand that like a lot of people know about. But he was using those. I think he bought a pair for himself as well, but recently I've been using them. And the headphones just started like sagging on one side. And you know, so when I'm recording, I can hear what's going on in one ear, but the other ear is just kind of like pointing out like that. And I didn't really like it. You know, it would do this like strange thing. And so I would try to just, you know, make things better and hold it down. Or I remember one time I was recording, and this was all like last week. I was recording last week, and I put a like a hat over my head at the same time that I was recording in order to hold the headphones down. And it was just a little much, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to do all that. And so, you know, now I'm going to pick up a pair of Sony, Sony MDV 7506s. This guy near me in my area has them. And so I'm going to grab them from him. He said he's selling them for, I think they go for like $100. They go for like $100 on Amazon, you know. And so I'm gonna go and pick those up from him right now. I don't understand why people are always hung up on this, like, I only take cash business, you know what I mean? Like, I think like there's so much fear going on with these scams that people are pulling on, like Zelle and Cash App and all of that. And it's like, I get that if you just take cash, that, you know, it alleviates all those problems. Or I don't know, maybe the person don't have a bank account, but I don't know how you function without a bank account in the States like that. But we'll see. You know, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna ask this person when I see them, like, why do you only take cash? Like, you're like not even low key, but you're high key making everything like just more difficult. Like, well, I'll just pull up to you with my phone, put the money in your phone, instead of having to like stop at the ATM all the time. Like, bruh, like
I work with like a lot of analog equipment, you know, working with vinyl and all these older things that other people might not be working with and all that. But like, bruh, like you gotta be moving with like digital currency in this era. Like, I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But yeah.